Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. We are now in the month of Christmas. Moved away from the Killer Bunnies and on to Christmas themed movies. However, since our podcast is recorded a good month in advance, we watched a Christmas movie on actual Halloween. So, in order to balance the universe, I ended up watching a horror movie, and I guess you did too, Dave,
Well, not a horror movie as such,
right?
but kind of a Christmas movie, kind of a Halloween. What did you watch? And then I'll tell you what
I
I
ended
watched.
up watching Silent Hill from 2006.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
as a video game nut that I am,
Yeah.
Silent Hill is the perfect video game adaptation. It is not a perfect movie. If you're not a fan of Silent Hill
Uh,
game, you'll think, what the fuck did I just watch? But if you played the games, it hits every note. The guy obviously was a fan. The
okay.
scenery is the same as in the game. The music's the same. The characters are there. All the beats are there.
Oh,
It
cool.
is it is perfect. But as a movie, if you don't know what you're looking at, you're going to be left like, what the fuck was that? you know. But definitely a good watch. I had to do something on Halloween.
Right, right.
What about you?
Well, all month long, I start like the first day of October. We start watching Halloween movies. And the first two that we watch ever since they've come out is The Mummy and The Mummy 2.
Ah,
We always watch those two movies. With
Brendan Fraser.
thank you.
Yeah,
I wanted to call him George of the Jungle, but Brandon Fraser.
yeah. I
um,
love those movies.
but last night we watched Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ah, that's a good one.
So I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Saw that at the theater when it first came out, and I tell you, man, that opening scene with Jack marching, first
Mhm.
he's the scarecrow being, dragged in, and then all of a sudden he catches on fire, and that's a hell of an entrance for any movie. I don't care if they're live action or otherwise, but for that to be stop motion, I remember sitting there and watching that and just being amazed because I think at the time I was still in school learning stop motion. So I knew what they did. I
Right.
knew how hard that was to do. And for it to be an entire motion picture, holy cow, man. That's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great one. Cool. Cool. So,
Yeah.
our Christmas month started off with a Muppet Christmas Carol.
Thank God.
This this is a great adaptation. It really is.
Actually, it's the second movie we watched. Our Christmas month initially started out with the show which shall not be named that we did a review of earlier. Star Wars Holiday Special.
It sure did. Holy crap. I see I'm a week off.
You blocked it. You've
I
already
blocked it,
blocked it.
man. It was so fucking traumatic. This is our
Oh, movie.
second week. Wow. Wow. Yeah, see, shooting going 5 weeks ahead on this, and then that travesty. Oh my
Oh,
God, dude! I thought that we were starting off, and we got three more good ones. That we're still going to do at least three more.
we need to do an extra good one just to make up for that
oh
travesty.
my God!
Ah, goodness.
Yes, so I blocked, I blocked out that. So this was actually the second movie. It is a great adaptation of A Christmas Carol. I haven't seen this in probably since it came out.
I watch it every year.
Yeah, and I can see why. Um,
Um, it's really difficult though. Like it's on Disney Plus now,
right.
and anybody who saw this thing at the theater and owned the original VHS tape has been miserable, and it's really hard to find the original theatrical cut. The original theatrical cut has the Michael Caine scene where the girl's singing about the lament of losing um, Ebenezer Scrooge on the bridge. In
Huh.
the Disney version, the one they have on streaming, they've edited that out, but they also have it as a deleted scene.
Ah,
So if you're watching this and you get to the scene where they're on the bridge, the young Ebenezer is talking to the girl, and she gets up and walks away from him, stop, go to the deleted scene, watch that deleted scene. If you don't have a tear in your eye by the time she's done singing, you're a fucking robot.
I did not even know that. I thought, wow, that was awfully short.
It's an odd cut. It
It is an odd
absolutely
cut.
is horrible. It takes away the whole turning point of Ebenezer,
Yeah.
because that's a big turning point for him when he sees that and has that moment with her on the bridge again, as the spirit version of him watching
Mhm.
the younger version of him just be a complete dolt.
Yeah.
It takes, and that cut is so hard because then he's crying and you're like, what happened? I mean, okay, she got up and walked away.
Yeah.
Big deal. It took me years to find, because I initially burned my VHS tape to a disc, and
Right.
it's gone bad. Even the disc has gone bad by now. So it took me a long time, years, to finally find, after multiple purchases that everybody said, this is the one that's got that in there, of the DVD unedited, of the theatrical
I'll
cut.
be damned.
So thank God for that. It's tough to find, but when you find it, it plays out so much better than that one scene. And that's the only thing that I've ever had a problem with this movie, because that's a hard version to find, is the theatrical cut.
Oh,
But my God, it is such a good movie. They did it. They nailed this to the wall. This version of Michael Caine as Scrooge.
he's amazing.
Man, man, just you can't get better than that. You
I
really.
was I was smiling the whole time I was
Hmm.
watching because Michael Caine is a brilliant actor and
Hmm.
he just, oh my God, he just nails it in this.
I
And this
know,
is
I know.
incredible role.
Miss Piggy,
Yeah.
she deserved an Oscar, at least an Oscar nom. I mean, come
Yeah.
on,
My
unfair.
favorite out of the whole movie is Rizzo the Rat.
All the right.
I love Rizzo,
It's the frog's idea.
especially when he was a little rat sickle.
Yeah. Oh my God, Rizzo the Rat. Oh, we don't understand these things. What do you mean you don't understand that? I came from a family of 1,200. Wow, that's
1,274 brothers and sisters. Yeah.
that in the very beginning, they're doing the pullback shot from the city, and the
Yeah.
miniature that they're using. I mean, that thing just goes on and on. You're going over the rooftops, and the everything's scrolling up. That is such a long shot. What a great model. And
It was.
when they seg into the Muppets, that's a hard thing. This is the first time I actually looked for the seg. Like,
I was trying to find the
how
cut.
did they pull that off? And I'm
Yeah.
still, there's only one thing I can think of, is they had a camera going across the model on one side, and all the Muppets were over here, and they just kind of pulled over, like away from the model. That's the only thing I can think of. I
Yeah.
would love to talk to Brian Henson and find out how they did that.
That was a great cut right there because I was watching. It's
Beautiful
like,
cut.
okay, we're looking at miniatures and I know we're going to go live. Where's
Yeah,
this cut going to be? And it
yeah,
was,
and
I
it's
couldn't
tough.
find it. It was well done.
It's tough to see. They did so much. There's nothing bad about this movie. I'm going to tell you, anybody who's listening, all two people,
Three,
me
maybe. We might be up to four.
and you,
Hello,
Hillary.
Australia.
LS, good eye. Um, Go Tigers. Um, I, the Tigers is a footy team. Never
I
mind.
figured it was a football reference.
They won the. I think they won. I hope they won. After what I just said, I'm thinking that they won the grand final. Anyway, I got to double check that. Sorry, I haven't watched it yet. Um, but they did so much right in this show. And any actor that's ever been in a Muppet movie, when you talk to them, well, how do you act against them? They've all basically said the same thing. What do you mean act against them? You're talking to the Muppet.
Hmm.
Here's a Muppet talking to you, and you're like, "Hi, what's going on?" And you're actually interacting with them. And have you ever seen any of the outtakes of when the Muppeteers go on break?
No.
They take the Muppets with them. and they are in character the whole time they're on break. There's no real break. Like they just keep going.
Well, that's just it. This movie is so well acted, so well done, but
Mhm.
then you get to the logistics of just creating a set
Oh my
that
God.
you never see the bottom of the Muppets.
Mhm.
Occasionally you do, and there's some neat trickery done there.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
to have humans interacting with Muppets and the way the set is designed with probably multiple levels and people underneath,
The imagination.
it blew my mind to watch, and it's just seamless. And the actors, the extras, even everybody treated it like it was no big deal to see singing cabbages or
Yeah,
mice
like
or
I
anything
couldn't
like
eat
that.
a cabbage that was talking to me. I just would never be able to eat a cabbage that was
I know,
talking.
right?
Vegetable. What was that? What a line from Rizzo? Rizzo the Rat says, "My mother always told me never eat a talking fruit," or
Yes,
something like that.
Rizzo was great.
This is great.
Yeah.
Rizzo the Rat.
The bookkeeping mice was a great bit of
It was a
comic
good
relief.
addition. It was a good addition.
Yeah.
Um, trying to think. The bunny that's singing at the door.
Oh
Oh my God,
man.
that's such a cute freaking moment. And then he turns around because Scrooge is trying to rip the damn wreath and he
Wreath.
can't
Yeah.
reach. And then he opens up the door and the bunny turns around thinking he's gonna get a penny and he just whips the damn wreath at him.
Yeah, but then you see the bunny underneath some newspaper
I
later
know.
shivering. It's like,
He plays such a good Scrooge, man.
oh,
The
he's
look on his
awesome.
face, and he plays that perfectly straight. Like there's no like if it would have been a human that he was playing against, he would have played it the exact same way.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it was
Uh,
just so good. And
Michael Caine was
Johnny
freaking
Hanson.
brilliant in this, man. It was just
Mhm.
a pleasure to watch him work like that. It's like
Oh
when
yeah,
when you
yeah.
when you see an actor just holy shit, that was a holy shit moment, you know.
And to have seen him in so many other good movies where he's played a good guy, where he's played a bad guy, and and you know his range. And
Yeah.
then you put him with Muppets, and you're like, you're doing a Muppet movie? And then all of a sudden, you're like, who else could have you gotten to do that? Nobody. Nobody.
So good, so full of emotion. He
Oh, yeah.
showed his anger, his Scrooginess, and
Yeah, yeah.
everything, but then he showed a lot of heart. And at the end, it was just so funny that everybody just piles into Kermit and or into the Cratchit's house.
Picture House. Uh,
Yeah,
okay, there's two very sad moments in this movie. For anybody who hasn't seen it, I don't want to ruin them. The one I've already talked about on the bridge.
yeah,
But there's another moment that the first time I saw it, I about had a tear going down my cheek. And I don't want to ruin it, but it's at the Cratchit house. So I'm going to say, for anybody who hasn't seen this movie, you have to watch this movie. Wait for the moment in the Cratchit house. If you don't well up at that moment, you're a robot.
yeah,
You're a
yeah.
freaking
You must
robot.
be. All I'm going to say is you're talking about the Ghost of Christmas Future.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
And that
just
is a
like,
turning point for Scrooge.
yeah, there's another turning point. And a lot of movies that I've watched now, I have a huge collection of A Christmas Carol and the Christmas Carol, Scrooge. I probably got about 25 to 30 different versions of this
Wow.
damn story because it's such a good story and it can be so easily destroyed. And I'm shocked on how many versions of it I have that I've only watched once because they did them so poorly. And I think to myself, how did you ruin this story? How do you how do you take a story and just destroy it?
Yeah, because it has got great. I mean, that story itself is so solid.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's one of those stories I've read repeatedly over the years. Probably one of my favorite stories of Dickens, and it's a solid story, man. It is absolutely about redemption
hmm,
and how tough it can be, and how easily you can fall into, let's call it a bad habit,
yeah,
for lack of a better term. Um, the Muppets, when you initially hear the Muppets Christmas Carol, I'm sure that the first time I heard it, I was just like, really?
Yeah.
Muppets Christmas? Really? But it happened. And when I first saw it, I remember thinking, oh my God, they did such a good job on that. And for Michael Caine to pull it off with the Muppets, and the casting was perfect for this. You
Yes.
had Michael Caine as Scrooge. I don't know who the kid was that played his nephew, but he
Yeah.
looked the part. Like that's
Yeah.
why when I read the story now, that's basically the kid that I look at and say that's the nephew. Um, but Miss Piggy had to be Bob Cratchit's wife,
Yeah.
and Kermit the Frog had to be Bob Cratchit, you know, and the twins, the two twin piggies.
Bettina and Belinda,
Here,
yes.
I'm Bettina. I'm Belinda. Whatever. Hello, Cratchy Bunny. She gives him a little squeeze at the door. When she squeezes him, you hear it squeak.
Yeah.
The,
There was
the,
there
there was,
was I'm
oh,
sorry, go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, there was so much in there. Just any street scene. If you just looked in the background, every
I know.
window had something going on. Every side street, there was so much puppeteering there. It was insane.
That I can't even imagine, like you said, the logistics of putting this thing together.
Brilliant.
Just Brian Henson. This is the first movie done without Jim Henson
Hmm.
after his passing. And they knocked the ball out of the park with this movie. They really did. Um, the ghost of Christmas Past, when that ghost shows up, that's really the only way. If you've ever read the story, that's the closest that you can be to the way Dickens describes that spirit, and it's the only one that ever gets it close, in my opinion, to how Dickens has described that spirit. And they did such a good job when he's in the schoolhouse watching himself as a little boy, and Sam Sam the Eagle is standing there talking to him.
It's the American way.
It's the American way, and freaking not Rizzo, but
Was it Gonzo?
Gonzo. He has to whisper in his ear, "It's the British way." Oh my God, it's a good little moment. But yeah, just every character in that was perfect. Uh, Fozzie Bear,
Yes.
just and then his wife. Oh my God, it was just so well done. There's so many good things about this movie. Like we could watch nothing but Christmas carols and pick out all the best Christmas carols to watch and just talk about them, and I'd be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
But that's not what we do. We have to find bad Christmas movies.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things that I loved about this so much is it took the story, the solid story, and then it added humor, Muppet
Yeah,
humor,
yeah.
like the Marleys or whatever. Leave the comedy to the Bears.
The
And it's
two
like,
brothers,
oh yeah,
Robert Marley. What's short for Robert?
Bob.
Bob. Such a stupid little joke
Yeah.
that you got to dig for. It's like, oh my God, that's funny.
But I've always loved the old hecklers there. And
Oh
they
yeah, yeah. Leave the comedy to the Bears.
yeah. So
It
just
was
all that
short.
little
It was
silly stuff.
pointless.
Yeah.
We loved it.
Yeah. Mm,
Oh,
definitely.
the Christmas present ghost,
Hmm.
the spirit of Christmas present, was phenomenal. Because there's a scene when they come up to the Cratchit house, and Kane's looking through the window. You know, he's doing his little thing, and you see the guy in the big Muppet costume lean forward and look through the window with him, and you'd swear he's actually looking in the window, not with whatever he's got a viewfind, but through the eyes on the Muppet. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's like it just the Muppeteers in this are just phenomenal. I
Yes.
mean, they always are phenomenal, but this was really. I think this is probably one of my favorite Muppet movies, next to the very first one.
Yes.
And then you see like all the rest of them. You can just see them building on everything that they did.
Yeah, they just just figuring out how to do it, how to
Hmm.
have all those people moving. unseen.
Can't imagine.
And
Cannot
just
imagine that.
the the actors. I don't think the Muppeteers get enough credit for what they
Mhm.
do. It's
No.
not only do they bring the puppet to life,
Hmm.
they act it, they voice it,
Yeah.
they embody it, and man, they're brilliant.
That's that is a hell of that's a completely different level of acting than I think anybody or most people could do.
Yeah,
Um, it's phenomenal. I cannot even imagine how much fun those guys and girls have.
yeah,
You know,
it would be a blast, I think.
it's got to be like the job that if you got fired from that, you'd be like, "What? You can't what?" But I'm taking my Muppet with me.
Yeah, it would
So
be awesome.
in the unemployment line, what do you do? I'm a Muppeteer.
No, but this is a again a brilliant adaptation. A lot of
Oh,
heart. Man, it's emotional. It you really feel it, and it's just yeah. That scene that you talk about is, whew, yeah,
did you get a tear in your eye?
yes,
Yeah, see?
yeah,
I had a friend of mine watch this one time. He had never seen it. And my wife's sitting on one side and I'm sitting on the other and we're watching the movie and that scene is coming up. And I just kind of look over at the old lady and the old lady's look over at me and we're both looking at my friend and he's watching and you can see the welling up of the tears and he can feel us both staring at me. He looks at me and goes, what? What are you looking at?
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I was just like, well, I just wanted to see if you had the same effect on you as it had on me. He goes, of course it did. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but if you've seen the movie, you probably can already guess the scene, but I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah,
It's just for characters who don't blink, whose eyes don't get really too big and change the face too much. There's nothing but emotion in there. Like
it's mind blowing.
the scene with Piggy, you're just like, oh, you just want to hug Piggy, you know? You're just like, oh,
Yeah,
Piggy.
and it's just and it is the voice,
Yeah,
the like brilliant acting all the way around. Um, I
it,
loved it.
yeah,
I haven't seen it since it probably came out.
yeah.
Um, I haven't watched any of the Muppet movies in forever. I grew up watching the Muppet Show on TV, which was
Oh
great.
yeah. Womp womp.
Um, I don't really care for any of the new adaptations or reboots at all.
No, I tried to watch one of them a while back, and I refuse to look at the one that's on Disney Plus now. I'm just like, no, you guys already have ruined it. Just show the reruns of the Muppet
Yeah.
Show. Just
Are the
go back
reruns
and
on
show
there?
it. No, they're not. And you want to know why they're not? Because they know they'd get blown away by their new crap that they're trying to make, which makes no sense to me. It's got to, the only thing I can come up with is the reason they're not doing that is because of contracts with all the co-stars that were on there. Like
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to get them all to sign off on it or something. I don't know. That's all that I can come up with. And if I was already if I already signed off on it and did the show, big freaking deal. Go ahead and sign off on it.
Yeah.
Get your one
You're going to
tenth
get
of one
money.
percent. Yeah, go get your 1/10 of 1%. Who the hell cares? You're
Yeah.
already a multimillionaire actor living in Hollywood. Shut the fuck up and be on the Muppet Show.
Yeah. I meant to
Oh,
look and I didn't. I thought, well, hell, if the Muppet movie, because that's where I watched. I watched
the
on
Muppet
Disney Plus
movies.
and thought,
Yeah,
well, hey, all the Muppet movies are here, so maybe the show is. Nope.
yeah, the Muppet movie, The Great Muppet Caper, um, Muppet
Muppets Take
Treasure
Manhattan.
Island. What?
Is it what Manhattan? Something take?
Yeah, the Muppets Take Manhattan.
I
Those
forgot
are
about
all the
Treasure
best
Island.
ones. Oh yeah, Muppet Treasure Island's really good.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. We should do that. We should just do all the Muppet movies one year. Next year. Just do them all next year.
Sure.
What was I gonna say? I stopped watching Muppet movies when they went to Gitmo. There was one like a recent one where they all go to Gitmo or some. I don't know what the hell's going on in it. It looked like they were trying to make a political statement with Muppets. I could be wrong, but it looked that way, and I was done. I was like, yeah, no.
No, there's
Yeah.
no need.
And then I guess in one of the series, Piggy and Kermit aren't boyfriend and girlfriend anymore.
Yeah, that was
And I was like,
reboot about 4 or 5 years ago. I
yeah,
watched
no.
it and it's like, what are you doing?
I heard it was horrible. I
Yeah,
heard it was literally like the most horrible thing. Like, why are you doing that with Muppets? No,
yeah.
Muppets are Muppets.
It was too real.
Yeah,
I didn't need that. It
yeah.
was
You don't want real when you're watching a Muppet.
no. I want fun. I want the Swedish chef stuffing a turkey. You know,
Right,
I want
right.
Beaker blowing shit up.
Yeah, exactly. You want the little stagehand that was the owner's nephew. What the hell was that kid's name? The kid with the red hair and he had the big glasses. He was always
Scooter.
hanging out with Muppet. He was always trying to hang out with Kermit and try to be Kermit's right hand man. And it turns out his dad owned the stage that they were trying to buy or whatever at one point. Can't remember the kid's name. He's a little Muppet. But he's like, you want him just causing trouble for Kermit the whole time and trying to, get
Yeah,
out of trouble and just stop being real. It's a Muppet for freaking
it's a
crying
Muppet.
out loud. Keep it light, keep it simple, keep to what Jim Henson created. If
Yep.
you keep it along those lines, like you did The Mandalorian, because you guys screwed up Star Wars. Thank God for John Favreau.
Yes,
He's doing The Mandalorian. He's saving your ass.
I
He's getting it
absolutely
to what
love.
it needs to be.
And here's the thing, and I want to talk about the Mandalorian a little bit. We
Okay.
talk about the great puppeteering. My God,
Mm-hmm.
I know his name is the child, but Baby Yoda
Baby
is
Yoda.
is is
He's
freaking
Baby.
phenomenal. The emotion and everything, and the fact that they almost went CGI with this.
Oh, thank God they didn't.
Thank
Thank
God
God it
Werner
didn't.
Herzog told them, "No, you all are
Right,
cowards. Make it a puppet," and they
right.
did. And
But yeah, I love that. Whenever you find out and everybody's like, well, where do I go with this? What do I do with this? And Herzog is the one who says, it's a child.
yeah,
You're saving a child. Be in the moment. Don't worry about that you're acting against a puppet because it's no longer a puppet.
no,
And whatever he said, I forgot what exactly his words were to the guy, but the guy's like, oh, okay, got it. And God damn it, when Herzog tells you how to act, that's how you act.
yeah,
When he gives you advice, you fucking take it.
yeah. And thank God they listened when he said, "Don't do CGI," because it just
Right,
would not have worked.
right. It wouldn't because you didn't have anything to go against. That's the problem with so much CGI. It's okay to put it here. It's okay to
Yeah,
put it there. But when you're in a moment of everything in your room is CGI except for you, there's a problem. And
yeah,
that's where the problem really kicks in. That's why I like how they did the sets.
yes. It's amazing
And
that most of that is on a sound stage, and with
not
the
just on a
big
soundstage, but it's like
screens.
super screen.
Yes,
And the people, it's funny because the people sit there and talk about it, and they're like, "Well, when we're there and we're walking, we're not sure how far deep it really is until they turn off because everything looks like it's all connected. It looks so good, even when
yeah,
you're there. That's amazing to me.
yeah.
That is just utterly amazing to me. They
Great
did
technology they
thank
came up
God
with.
for John Favreau and whoever he made a deal with, and that they're leaving him alone. Just leave Disney. Just continue to leave him alone,
Yeah,
please. He's doing
because
fine.
I'm with you.
Yeah, even with you as the big weight around his neck, he's still doing okay.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy, gotta go. Him, he can stay. Anyway, enough of that. Back to
While
Muppets.
she's on the way out, she can grab Brian Johnson and keep going.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Yes. Take that movie deal away from him, for the
How
love
do
of
we end
God.
up on Star Wars every freaking episode? This was a great segue, though. I mean, because the puppeteering of
Yeah,
Baby Yoda is
it's phenomenal.
it's great.
And the best scene with Baby Yoda so far. I haven't watched the first episode of season 2 yet. I'm gonna
It's
watch
very
that
good.
tonight.
You need to watch it.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it tonight. But whenever the Mandalorian is fighting the female bounty hunter,
Hmm.
the ex-rebel special forces chick, and they're fighting and fighting and they're rolling. They both roll over and they both got a blaster aimed at each other and they're laying on the ground and they both stop and they look over and Baby Yoda's got a cup of tea, just drinking a cup of tea. He's just sitting there watching. They both stop. They both look at him. He's like,
That's it's brilliant. It's
Right.
brilliant.
Oh my God, it was hysterical. And the moment needed to be there at that point because it was so much tension like going on and happening there. It was perfect and it was puppet. It wasn't CGI. It was a freaking puppet. It was something they could react to. It was perfect.
And that's the magic. That's
And
the
is
magic.
Henson, I didn't look. Is Henson's company in charge of that Muppet?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to
I
look
bet they
for him,
are.
see if he's got anything to do with it. But back to A Christmas Carol
Yeah.
because we do love our Star Wars too.
Yeah.
And that's our Star Wars reference for the day.
Yeah. Great series, The Mandalorian, Disney Plus.
Yeah, the the way that the fog rolls in when the Christmas future spirit is showing up.
Yeah, that was wild.
I really want to know how they did that. Like
Yeah, because I thought
I'm
that's a lot of fog.
that's a ton of fog, and it's literally a wall of fog. Like, and I know they're on a sound stage,
Yeah.
but
Some serious
I don't
fog
know how
machine.
you have a wall of fog
Yeah.
just coming in, and it didn't. It's not like it just rolled in. It's not like they dropped this gas or
No,
whatever
it
and
just
made fog.
pushed
It's
in.
literally a wall being pushed in. I've never seen anything like it before, and I've never seen anything like it since. I'd love to get with Brian Henson and ask how did you guys do that? It's got to be a really simple trick. Like they had colder air here than
They did something, and
over
yeah,
here to hold it in place and make it look like what it had to be a really super simple trick, but it was all in camera and it was
yeah,
amazing. And I love that. Every time I see that, I stop it and look at it and go, how did they do that? Because that thing goes back for at least a good 12 to 15 feet. I'm guessing that sound stage isn't huge. It's, probably a
yeah.
decent sized sound stage, but where they were at. But that's a lot of fog to just roll in.
It was cool. It was cool.
The soundtrack, all the music,
All the songs. Yeah,
just what's that guy's name? My mind just went back blank. The songwriter does every Muppet movie ever.
I don't know.
I'm gonna kick myself in the ass.
But yeah, the soundtrack was great. The songs were great. Everything was, perfectly placed in there. That was one of the great things about it. You looking it up?
I have it right here.
Okay.
Right
Ah,
here.
look at that. The soundtrack.
The soundtrack. Paul Williams. How could I forget his name?
Yeah.
The guy wrote everything back in the 70s. If you're a child of the 70s, he wrote it. He wrote the 70s and most of the 80s. But yeah, he's prolific as hell.
Yeah.
Just amazing songwriter. And when he wants to pull a tear out of your eye, he's gonna pull a tear out of your eye whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And he does it in a couple of these songs. He makes you really like. That's no one call me. I love it. But yeah, everything. There's nothing bad about the costuming in this is amazing.
Yeah.
Even for the Muppets. Like if you went into a dimension where Muppets actually existed without people's hands up their rear ends, and they were just walking around being Muppets, and you saw them dressed like that, you'd be like, "Holy crap!" But you would think that they were really there. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they exist in a time and spot. The costuming in this is amazing to me. There's nothing in my opinion bad about this movie.
No,
And if
that's
people have something bad to say in the comments below, don't. Because there's nothing bad to say about this movie.
you can say it, but you'll be wrong.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. What Scott said.
So, your final thoughts on A Muppet Christmas Carol?
Oh, watch it. Watch it every Christmas with your family, with your friends, with your dog, with your cat, with your fish. Just watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
I will second that. Great movie. And Michael Caine, absolutely phenomenal in this role.
Just perfect. Just absolutely perfect.
It is definitely a must watch. Old Ass Movie Reviews gives it a get off your ass and watch this damn movie.
And if you can find the original DVD, the original theatrical cut DVD, buy it. Buy it because it's got the little song in there. It's got just a great edit. It's fantastic.
I'm going to go back and watch that clip.
Yeah, you'll cry. Well, you might not
Probably
cry.
So.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure and catch us next week when we review Gremlins.